Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise to support this amendment bill. It's a very straightforward bill, but I was listening to Senator Aaron Cheriot making his contribution, and I truly agree with him that we've got to be thinking outside the box. I'm happy that he was suggesting that it is a high time that we now distribute these powers, or rather we donate these powers of authorities to other people. You know, I've been looking at all bills, and I couldn't agree with him more, that it seems that we have one template, and that's it. And whenever we try to do something different or something unorthodox, it doesn't go any far. Mr. Speaker, sir, looking at the amendments that my brother Senator Kajwang is proposing, it makes a lot of sense. A CEO should be appointed competitively by the board of directors so that he can be able to be answerable to them. There's nothing wrong with the board being appointed by the president, but I think the terms of recruiting a CEO can be done better by a board of directors. So I fully support this amendment, and I think if any other board or any other entity out there which is supposed to improve business, because when you talk about the fishery industry, I was reading in the budget policy statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, that this government is investing a lot in that sector, in the blue economy, to be able to improve. Then we want to be able to give people who are competitive, people who have a lot of experience, and the only people who can really spend a lot of time in trying to ensure that the people they recruit are competitive is the board. Mr. Speaker, sir, we've seen what has happened in this country, where there are certain positions which are reserved for a particular group of people. This is something which is becoming really annoying, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I hope that we can change. We are talking about inclusivity. Yesterday, Mr. Speaker, sir, I was reading the BBI report, and in one of the recommendations, which I completely disagree, tacked on the Chapter 15 Commission, where it says that the chairperson should be the CEO. I just think that we really need to be thinking, and you know, we diversify our thinking, and we have a clear separation of powers. There's no reason as to why in this body, the CEO and the chairperson has got to be vetted by Parliament. You know, I know Parliament does all the work, but I think sometimes let us trust other people. I think the key word here, Mr. Speaker, sir, is meritocracy. If we can be able to grow as a country that rewards merit, then we can be able to go very far. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I fully support this amendment, and I hope that we can be able to look at other entities and then come back and amend them. Because just like Mutula Kilonzo was saying, sometimes there's a really big danger in terms of these omnibus bills. Because one of my problems, Mr. Speaker, and I had this big problem even with the other bills of energy and petroleum, is where the only time that we can be pushing for legislation to go through is when we are trying to create jobs for our friends or to create other jobs. How about really thinking about the 47 million Kenyans? So, Mr. Speaker, sir, I congratulate Senator Kajwang for coming up with really sound amendments, and I hope that we can continue looking at all these pieces of legislation and making sure that they can be able to conform with the current constitution, because this is the first bill, Mr. Speaker, sir, that I've seen clearly indicated that it affects counties. You know, so this amendment and the fact that fisheries is fully devolved, it helps us, and it actually gives me more reason as to why I should support, because this is an amendment that will be able to improve how our countries operate and also build on our blue economy. I don't want to be reading, Mr. Speaker, sir, when I conclude, from the newspapers that the fish industry is rotting and it's a danger to our people. You know, maybe that could be some people who want to continue importing a lot of fish from China, but really I think when we give this CEO the independence, or when we give the board the independence to be able to appoint the CEO, it makes it easier for them to be able to invest fully and help this grow its blue economy. I thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir, and I support.